base layers, and today you can see we're clearly on the Google Play Store and not on any type of Genesis or Dreamcast or any type of game today. And that's a specific reason. Today we're going to be covering Sega's terrible mobile ports. And what do I mean by this? Well, as you can see, we have the Sega Forever logo up there, right? And you can see Saturn, the Master System, Dreamcast, even SG-1000 and Game Gear, right? Now you can see all those consoles up there, and Sega, they've been bringing out mobile ports to the general mobile platform for a while now, right? But there's a problem. 90% of the games they bring out on this platform suck. And what do I mean like this? I don't mean the games themselves suck. The Sega Forever idea is a beautiful idea where we bring back classic Sega games to a mobile platform for a mobile generation for you guys to play, for all the people around here to play. The problem is the execution is terrible. So I have 4 games. This video is going to be broken into 4 categories. As you can see, they show Game Gear, SG-1000, Dreamcast, Genesis, and even Saturn up there, and Master System. But really, none of those systems get attention. The 2 main systems that really get games on here is Dreamcast and Genesis, and most of them is Genesis. Plus, this video is going to be broken up into 4 categories. We're going to be looking at 4 different games. That being a Dreamcast game, a Genesis game, an original game, and in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, which you can say is technically part of the Genesis series, but there's a reason they get their own little section. So I've already installed the games we're going to be looking at, and you'll see them as we go. Crazy Taxi, Streets of Rage 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic Dash are going to be the games we're going to look at. But as you can see, most of the ports on here are Genesis ports, besides a few, like I said, original games or a few Dreamcast games. There's no arcade. There's not really arcade. The Saturn is virtually impossible to find. I don't see any Master System or Game Gear anywhere. So that's already a big problem, in my opinion, lying to the consumer base, right? Like I said, this shows all these different consoles that we're supposed to be getting, yet all we're getting is Genesis games, and that's a problem to me. And I'm going to tell you what the alternative method of having to deal with the things that we have to deal with here at the end. $2.99 for Sonic Jump. That's really outrageous. And the $2.99 for Sonic the Hedgehog Episode 1, but Episode 2 is free? What is the point of that? At least in my opinion. Episode 2 is completely free. Why is Episode 1 still no $2.99? But we're going to start off, I think we're going to start this video off nicely with we'll start off with Crazy Taxi for Dreamcast, and we'll go work our way down. And also, I wanted to show this off real quick. As you can see, I have this beautiful Outrun custom wallpaper that infinitely moves, so that already looks cool to me. But we'll be back in 1 second as soon as I load up Crazy Taxi. Okay, and we're back. And the first thing you're going to notice when you get on one of these games is they immediately ask for your age, which I never really liked it. I don't understand why you need to know my age, but then I guess targeted ads, but really, like, who's gonna really trust a game with your actual age? I mean, most of the time, at least a mobile game anyway. But I mean, it's Sega, so I really don't care at the end of the day. That's just a minor gripe. But the first thing you're gonna see when you get here is ad supported, so for free, or remove the ads, but for $1.99. Which I mean, I never really cared about ads, right? Sega games may be featured on launch. Look, I never really cared about ads, which is ads are just ads, you know what I'm saying? If you want to play mobile games, you have to deal with ads. That's not a problem. The problem is how many ads you get. Literally, these games are loaded with ads, and I mean every last one. Ad there. Play the game. Ad there. Pick a mode. Ad there. Work for 10 minutes, and watch this. And you get an ad before you're able to play, and it's a TikTok ad at that, and that annoys me to the brim. Like, this game is loaded full of ads, right? The first thing you're gonna notice, right? This is the Dreamcast version of the game. This is clearly not the arcade version. I never really liked it mobile controls, but hey, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, maybe this is the arcade version. It looks more like the I don't know which version this is, but the first thing you're gonna notice is the music is here. There's a pause button up in the corner, you know. But really, the games as a whole kind of like, and I'm gonna play for a couple seconds here while I'm talking. The game as a whole, as you can see, it'll stutter sometimes. See, there it is. Sometimes the game will like is drop frames. Like sometimes you'll see the game like literally just drop frames. There's literally some glitches all around that I just no. This is the arcade version, right? Actually, yes. This is. I don't know. Is this the arcade or Dreamcast version? I think this is the arcade version. But we're actually gonna pause that here. Add there. But sometimes when you're playing these Dreamcast games, oh no, if I really have to admit, the Dreamcast games as a whole really aren't that bad. But they're, like I said, the ads can be annoying, and there can be multiple ads. Sometimes ads will pop up on the screen. Sometimes while you have a customer in your car, you will get an ad. There's also games like Virtual Tennis on here, and there's really like only 3 or 4 Dreamcast games at most. There might even be less than that. There might only be Crazy Taxi and Virtual Tennis, but I think there's also Sega Bass Fishing, if I'm correct. But it's just the ads here are just so annoying, and they can be straight up game breaking. Like I said, sometimes I'll get an ad while picking up a customer, and then sometimes the frame rate will literally just drop to almost 0, and I can barely move. And this isn't a rare situation. This happens a lot of times while I'm playing these games, so which is why I don't bother playing these games. But like I said, all in all, for the like Dreamcast / arcade section, it really isn't that bad. It's pretty okay. It's pretty playable. The aspect ratio is okay, but another gripe that these games all have that I'll more so talk about when I get to the oh no, I want to talk about this actually here. The Dreamcast games. Oh wow, this is the arcade version, because in the arcade version you can go on the beach. On the Dreamcast version you're not allowed to do so. Yes, this is the arcade version of Crazy Taxi, which is I guess okay. Actually no, this is the Dreamcast version, right? I'm gonna have to get this a look, cause wait, this actually might be the arcade version, but it might not be. I want to see something real quick. If you can get down there, this is... No, you can't. Okay. Yeah, but at the end of the day, these ports aren't that bad. But they do suffer from a huge problem that I will tell you about now. No controller support for the Dreamcast games, at least on my end. I couldn't get it to work. I tested multiple phones. When I used to play this on my old original phone that I used to make videos with, then my other phone that I just got rid of, I tried to play with the controller on the Dreamcast games. They really don't work, and I'm getting ads about things I really don't want to get ads about. But that's really gonna do it for the Dreamcast section. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the Genesis section next. Okay, so join me there when we get there. Join me when we get there. Actually, change the points. We're gonna move on to the original games next, but I think I wanted to show this off real quick. You have to enter your age, which is not really a big deal for me. And then you have to agree to terms of which all games make you do nowadays. But I don't understand. That might be a gripe for some people. Some people might not want to enter their age in while playing this. But join me again when we actually get into the game, because I'm not trying to show you my email and stuff. So, okay. So we're in, as you can see, Sonic Dash, and I'll just use this one as an example because this is one of those I have a huge gripe with too. Lots of these games can be, like I said, good. As you can see, the frame rate is dipping a lot here, and I have a pretty high-end phone now. Before I could try and excuse it as like, hey, well maybe I'll just have a lower-end phone. I have a pretty high-end phone now, and these games still tend to lag a lot. Like a lot of, and I don't just mean like games like even Sonic Dash. You might be thinking, well maybe it's just Sonic Dash fast. For some reason, I don't know what that glitch was, but you may be thinking Sonic games are fast, and you might be right. You might actually be right, and I don't really like the new features here. You might be right that this is a Sonic game, but I've looked at a couple more of the so-called original games they have on here, and again, I've run into the same problems. There are lots of times they're glitchy, they're just straight up unusable. I should have put Do Not Disturb on. Let me do that now. Lots of times they're glitchy, they're like basically unusable, and as you can see, the game again will stutter a lot here, and that's a huge gripe with me, at least for these original games. But again, I'm gonna cut them a little bit of slack here, like I said, because again, they are original games. But even personally, I think at least definitely in this section, they need to step their game up, because now we have guys like Nintendo and Activision coming in here and releasing console quality games on here that I don't think Sega can just release these janky random mobile games at any point and just slap Sonic the Hedgehog on them and say, hey, here you go, kids, will play them, which they will. But at the same time, I don't know. I just think they need a little bit more quality in this section, and maybe a little bit more titles released in this section instead of focusing on what we'll get into next. So see you when we get to the Genesis section. Okay, so this is the part where most of my complaints are going to be, and that's going to be the Sega Forever section. I mean, as you can see, there's a huge loading bar here during Genesis games. It doesn't even load in the Crazy Taxi section. See, again, age, error verification, whatever, you know, like I said, I don't really have a problem with that. Some people might have huge gripes with it. First off, again, you get this now. Play free, ad support. We're just going to play free, whatever. The settings over here, you can see music, graphic settings, information, send messages, restore purchases, Google Play, edit age, Sega Shop, and things like that, right? And one of the first gripes that I have, and that I have to get this off my chest with all of these games, especially the Genesis ones, right? There is supposed to be controller support, right? And at first I tried to use, I have a King Gear controller, which is basically an Xbox One controller that I tried to use, and it wouldn't even support it. And that's a pretty wide, the controller I use is pretty like widespread support doing a lot of things, right? And they also have a sign up button up there. What do I need to sign up for? Like literally, what am I trying to sign up for? Also, they're talking about Sonic CD for some reason. Oh yeah, okay, I see it now. What is that? Sonic Forces, Sonic Dash. You know, you can see all your ads up here. But no, the main problem I have with this is the controller support, and this goes for all the games. It says, so I have a pretty, like I said, widespread controller. It didn't work. So maybe I put that up too. I was like, well, you know, maybe Sega just doesn't recognize this controller or care about this controller, and it didn't work. I said, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and use my original, which keep in mind, this is an original Xbox One S controller with the Bluetooth support that does work on my phone for other games. I use to play things like Call of Duty Mobile and things like that. Here, it completely didn't work. Didn't work at all. Even here, it didn't work. And so that's the main problem. The multiplayer is total glitchy. Just go back and hold on. You get an ad right off the bat, literally. So I'll pause it after. I'll pause the video until. Wait, where's the recording button? I'll pause this video until the ad is over. I mean, well, I might as well let you see it. Look at this. And then you can't. And then it takes you forever to be able to skip. And then sometimes they're a little shady, at least in my opinion. I mean, you do have things like save whenever you want, rewind, and all that. But also no 6-button controller support here. Like I said, there is 2 players, and I don't even. Also, the rewind button has a freaking timer before you use it, so that sucks. But the game all around just is a lot laggy, glitchy, just kind of hard to run, especially if you have a lower end device. Keep that in mind. Like I said, I have a higher end device now, so the games they run better than what they would on lower end devices. But just go back and watch that Streets of Rage 2 video I did with Martin. The game literally froze. Halfway through, the game literally froze. Like, literally. I couldn't even move anymore. He couldn't move anymore. The game completely froze. And the multiplayer, and that was multiplayer. And multiplayer is definitely the worst. You think it's bad on single player? Multiplayer is definitely the worst. And I'm tired, and I mean actually tired, of Sega just releasing these janky Genesis ports on the mobile store without even cleaning them up. Like, honestly, if you're gonna release these Genesis ports, at least make sure they have proper controller support with at least, like I said, at least the high-end controllers. You know, Xbox, PS4. The controllers the 2 people are gonna probably be using the most, and the Xbox controller didn't even work. Come on, Sega. Step up your game. If you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna release these Genesis ports, put some quality into it. Don't just throw them onto the store as ad custard janky messes that have barely been optimized for any devices. And that's my main concern with these Genesis games. Like I said, the controller support, this goes for almost all the games except the one I'm gonna get into next, which is the Sonic the Hedgehog games. And besides those games, these actual Genesis games, the controller support is just terrible. The UI, at least in my opinion, is terrible. I understand having the original 4:3 aspect ratio, and you can probably change that in the settings. But I personally prefer what was I gonna say? Stretch, but that's just me. The save option, right? You have to watch an ad to save. Keep that in mind also. That's another thing I wanted for you guys to know. To save the game, you have to watch an ad. Come on, like the game wasn't already ad loaded in the first place. As you can see, I don't even know. The controls are just terrible. The buttons are small. Let's see the graphics settings. Yeah, they do. No, look, they have the perfect, or the 4:3, they have the actual perfect aspect ratio, the classic thing, which is cool, but no stretch. I prefer stretch, and a lot of people have stretch. Like, come on, where's the stretch? Actually, I don't really mind that filter. That filter is pretty nice. But like I said, the save, you have to watch an ad. You get ads down there. I don't know what these rewards are. Look, you can get more lives and switch characters, and you have to watch an ad and all that to get those. Which is, I mean, that's all you, if you want to do that. But that's really going to do it for this Genesis section. We're going to head and move on to the Sonic the Hedgehog section. And I'm actually going to let you see the startup for this one, because this one is actually very important. As you can see, if you see, these ports are made by none other than Chris. Oh, hold on, I'm going to pause. Okay, sorry about that, but my Google Play information is going to come up, which includes my email. But as you can see, the Sonic the Hedgehog ports were done by Kristen Whitehead. You know, he's a legend out there in the Sega universe, but his ports are beautiful. These are some nice ports, literally. But you have things like the Sega zines, magazines, leaderboards, time attack, and just achievements and just start game. But this is how all the Genesis games should be. Not that clunky UI that they have on there now. They should have the Sonic the Hedgehog UI. This UI is beautiful. This menu as a whole is beautiful to me, and you have to watch an ad to start the game. Come on, literally. That's another problem that this game even needs suffer from, that you will not be able to escape. And sometimes another thing I'll notice is some of these ads will just straight up take you to the Google Play Store out of nowhere, which I don't want your ad. Did I ask you to take me there, Wish? God, you guys aren't even that good anyway. So you have things, you have ads there, but you have you have multiple save files, which is very generous, and you have a no save mode. But let's just click new game real quick, right? So as you see, they've added special characters here. There's Tails and Knuckles. These were not in the original Sonic 1. Again, I applaud that. Okay? I totally applaud that. And then you get the normal Sonic 1 startup when you start the game, which is again something I applaud. Although there is no way to access like the cheat menu here. So if you know the level select code, there's no way to access it. At least in my opinion, the buttons they use here are better than the ones they use for the other Genesis games. Like I said, the ports here are just beautiful. They're done perfectly. They're done right. They have a beautiful resolution to fit the actual phone screen instead of looking stretched or just out of like touch. Anyway, the resolution looks good. They feel good. They feel responsive compared to the suck controls that Sega just throws on their normal Genesis games. And I don't understand why Sonic receives this like extra treatment than what is it? How do you say it again? Extra treatment, right? No, it's, well, you understand what I mean. Well, a special treatment. I don't know why I couldn't say special treatment. I don't understand why Sonic receives special treatment, yet the others don't. Even from his settings things. Even if you go on his settings, he can tweak things like music. You can even change the box art of the thing. Personally, I prefer the US box art just because that's the Sonic I kind of grew up with, and that's what I know him looking like. And you can also, another thing, you can mess with the sizes of the D-pad. Like, look at this. You can make the D-pad as big as you want, as small as you want. It's all up to you, and it's perfect for me. It's just perfect. And you can see them move up as you mess with the game. You can restart at any time. Like I said, settings, you can exit the game at any time. And like I said, it has built-in save files. No having to watch. Oh, every time you pause and unpause the game, though, the ads again. But no having to watch a video just to actually save the game. It's a built-in feature with multiple files, and that's what I applaud Kristen Whitehead for. All of Sega's mobile games should be like the Kristen Whitehead ports. We're at the end of this video now because this video is 20 minutes long and I really didn't plan for it to be this long. But at the end of the day, as you can see, Sega has a lot to step up their game with, particularly with their exclusive apps, their Genesis games, their Dreamcast games, and the false promises that they have about other games coming. As you can see, even some of the reviews for these games are kind of not even that good. Lots of them don't even have 5 stars. Like, honestly, Sega, step up your game. Like I said at the start of the video, we have guys like Activision and Nintendo entering the mobile space. We have guys like Google Stadia and Xbox game streaming, where you could literally play Xbox games on your phone, or Google Stadia high quality games on your phone. Sega, you gotta step up your game if you want to compete with them. If you're gonna release these Genesis ports, don't just release janky Genesis ports, optimize them, give their UIs updates. Don't show as many ads as you should. I understand you have to make money at the end of the day, but not the way you're doing it. These games are clustered with ads to the point they can hinder the gameplay lots of the times. Don't make us watch an ad to save game. I can understand you having the ad supported version and an unad supported version, but there's a better way to go about the way you do your ads, and it's not this way. Just fix up your UI, design these games better, maybe add games from more consoles like you promised. Like, I would love some Genesis, Master System, Saturn games, and I would love that, and that would be perfect. But until then, these options aren't going to work. And what are your and as a Sega fan on mobile, what are your other options? Well, personally, I recommend there's ways to go about emulation as a whole. If you're looking at the legality side, emulation isn't illegal. ROMs are illegal, and if that's the case, just dump your games. Like, literally, just dump your games if you're really that worried about it. Or just either dump your games, like I said, or, well, you really don't have another alternative option. But emulators as a whole aren't illegal. It's not, it's just, there's other better ways to go about it, especially on Android and PC. We have literally, like I said, emulation. Plus, you get a wide array of systems, and you don't have to wait for the games Sega to pump out. And you can get stuff like Dreamcast, Master System, and all that. So until Sega steps up your game, I don't really recommend any of you going out to download these games besides the Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic CD ports. Those are the only ports I could truly recommend you go out and get until Sega steps up your game. But that's really going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Try and stay away from these mobile ports and maybe check out some of the original games, but even then, well, 9 out of 10, look, the 3 games up here are literally the same game. Sonic Dash, Sonic Forces, and Sonic Dash 2 are literally the same game. Just stay away from these games. Go try out a couple of them. That's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I've been the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, Sega64. This is a long video, and until next time, see you, Slayers.